So I haven't talked about Sonic the Hedgehog toys in a while, and I wanted to make a quick little video, I don't want it to be too long, talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 figures, because these are actually really great. These are perhaps some of the best Sonic figures that I think have ever been made, and I've collected quite a bit of them. These are just really good. I think Jakks did a great job with these, and I'm not going to get like super detailed. I'm not going to go over the articulation on each and every one of these, but I do want to go over the articulation on these with the one that I'm going to open up, because I'm going to open up Supersonic, who has just now tumbled because he hates me. There we go. I'm going to open up Supersonic, so we can see how he articulates and everything, because all these pretty much move the same. You know, they're all very similar when it comes to articulation. There's a few differences, like Tails has some very nice joints in his tails. That way you can move it a lot better. Like, look at Tails here. One thing I love about these is how they have clear plastic in front of the eyes. That's something that I saw Jakks do with the Mario movie toys, and I thought it looked really nice with those. So I saw that they were making, you know, these Sonic 3 figures with a very similar style of, you know, aesthetic, especially with these eyes, and I just had to get them. I just had to pick them up. So I picked up Sonic first, and I was just so blown away. I decided to get the rest. I haven't gotten Robotnik. I'm not sure if I will. He's just kind of different. But I mean, look at Shadow here. Shadow has a lot of nice character in that head sculpt. The eyes look glorious. Very nice paint application. You know, it's got some white in the chest. It's got the little decos and details. Like, look at these boots, dude. He's got his very Gundam-y looking shoes. I've always felt like Sonic's, or Knuckles' I swear, maybe third time's the charm. Shadow's shoes have always looked very Gundam-y to me. He's got those booster shoes, and they just look very Mobile Suit Gundam. Yeah, they just look so good. Look at all the red and the quills. A lot of them have armpit joints as well, which is really nice. They're just very expressive. They're not the most perfect, you know, articulated figures. Like, some of them do have some little limitations and everything. And you do also have to consider, like, yeah, these are Sonic the Hedgehog character designs. You know, they have to deal with the limitations of the character design. But they still function pretty well. One thing I really enjoy, too, is that almost all of them have holes in the feet. They're pretty compatible with many display bases out on the market today. Because McFarlane is one of the best companies on the market. They always include bases with their figures. So, hey, McFarlane bases work for me. And to finish off Wave 1, Sonic the Hedgehog is the first one that I got. And yeah, it just looks so good, dude. I love the facial expression again. The eyes look great with the plastic in the front. It's got really nice articulation in the arms. Like, you can actually have him, like, convincingly fold his arms a little bit, even though you have to keep in mind he's got his big old hands. He's got the details of the quills. And look at this. He's got some clear plastic in the quills, too, just to kind of add a little bit of depth. I really enjoy that. It's just a very nice figure, dude. These have ankle tilts as well. They're just so well done. I'm so happy with these. And interestingly, if you want to just pick up all of these, and I'm pretty much showing here, except for Supersonic, Target has a multi-pack where Shadow and Sonic light up. And I think that multi-pack is a very cool way to pretty much get all of these characters in one go. Because it seems like the articulation's still pretty much there, except that the torso articulation has been sacrificed with Shadow and Sonic, so you can have the electronics in there. But yeah, very, very nice looking. So Wave 1, when it comes to the animal characters, had Sonic, Tails, and Shadow. But Wave 2 had a different head sculpt for Shadow, a mascot head version of Tails, which I have not seen that. And we finally got Knuckles and Supersonic. And I was very lucky to find these at a Target nearby. And I was like, heck yeah, let's go. Because they were available for order on Amazon, but I missed out on, like, the pre-order. So I had to, like, wait for the temporarily out of stock order, what was, you know, maybe never going to ship. But look at Knuckles here. He's huge. Again, he's got all this nice sculpting for the, you know, the quills and everything. He still has the same really nice look for the eyes with the clear plastic in front of him. He's very big and beefy. He is super beefy. I'm kind of a little iffy still on the whole depiction of Knuckles from the movies, because Idris Elba, I feel like he was directed to kind of have the more of the Sonic Boom personality of Knuckles, where he's kind of just a meathead. But I don't know, he's still got some of that charisma, but he's just so culturally unaware that he just has that ignorance that Knuckles, at least traditionally, doesn't really have too much. But it's a very nice design nonetheless. It's a very nice design for Knuckles. Unfortunately, the head, because of his big quills that are hanging down, his head really is not going to move much at all. You get a little bit of subtle rotation out of it, but I've not been able to like successfully pop this off and like rotate it around where you can have like the shoulder in there. But the articulation is still pretty much the same otherwise. They even have a little bit of a cutout in the body, so the arm can be faced all the way down. I really appreciate that. It is nice. He has knuckle articulation. I mean, all of them do, but just the fact that Knuckles has knuckles is very fun to me. He has his Lego shoes. He's got his shoes with a little Lego 2x3 on there. I've always loved that for the Knuckles design. And thankfully, first try, I got the name of the character right when talking about the shoes. Yeah, this is good. This is definitely very good. However, I want to open up Supersonic here on camera, and I want to go over the articulation in detail with our new friend here. So I think that the package looks really, really nice for these Sonic 3 figures. It looks really nice. You got the character name right there. You have the characters along the side. You know, Shadow looming ominously, and then we've got the main three. The colorful bunch. And then on the back, it's got the advertisements for the others available. We can see Shadow with the grimacing face, Mascot Tails, and Knuckles. Collect them all! I'm not getting all of them, but I'm getting most of them. These are probably all the ones I'll get, though. Unless, for whatever reason, like, Metal Sonic shows up in this movie. Supersonic is the ultimate form for Sonic, and this state his powers unmatched. Or is it? Yeah, we'll probably see Super Shadow in this movie. That's just my guess. Alrighty, this figure looks really, really good. Love Supersonic. I've always loved the yellow version. Uh-oh. Rest in peace. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at how these figures actually kind of move around, because I think the articulation is just so good on these. I mean, you've already kind of gotten a pretty good idea with the other ones, but getting Sonic out in his super form, he will be our demonstrator. All right, before I start moving him around, I gotta check something. Okay, good. I haven't acknowledged this quite yet, but Knuckles has a bit of a problem. So, as you can see, he's got holes on his feet for the display stand. I mentioned that earlier. For whatever reason, on Knuckles, he has a factory error, where if you look on his heel, you can see the sculpted part where the hole should be, but there is no hole. There is no hole for Knuckles. That sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I might be able to just drill the hole one day. But yeah, this Super Sonic's looking really nice. For whatever reason, for Sonic, you have to kind of finesse his shoulder and maybe like flip it around to make sure that it's properly configured. I feel like they don't always properly configure it. I don't know. I feel like sometimes his arm is just sticking out way too far. Yeah, I feel like if you can get the bicep kind of underneath that armpit hinge, then it'll kind of position itself a little bit better. But I still feel like I have it not configured quite right. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, again, this one looks really, really good. I love the head sculpt. It does have a new head sculpt for Supersonic where his quills are pointed up. It's got the very nice, again, plastic behind the eyes. And the articulation is, again, very, very good. He's got a ball joint at the head that moves up and down a little bit, and you get some side to side. I feel like the main characters that are very hindered with their head articulation are significantly just Knuckles. But I don't know, I feel like Shadow is a little hindered too with how his quills are shaped. The shoulders move up and down. They're on universals. He has butterfly joints at the shoulder as well. He has a bicep rotation as well as a very nice hinge at the elbow. And that hinge also moves independently from the bicep as well. He has wrist rotation and a hinge at the wrist, So you can get some nice, you know, curled fist action, which looks very nice, especially for Supersonic. And you also have finger articulation, which is always appreciated. The torso joint is a little limited, but it's not too bad. It can move back pretty good, and it can move forward just a little bit. You do get some tilt side to side, but barely any. But you get rotation, which is nice. Very appreciated. The hips are on ball joints, which pretty much move all the way. One of the only character exceptions here is Tails, where Tails has ball hinges at the hips, but they still pretty much afford the same range of articulation. I think it's just because of the character design. They figured the ball hinges would be easiest. And honestly, for Tails, it works out pretty good. The thighs rotate. He has a very squeaky joint at the knee. Very squeaky knee joint. But still, it serves its purpose. The foot, I'm pretty sure, can kind of rotate. I think. It might just be like the upper, like, shin. Yeah, it's just that shin part that's rotating. And then the ankle can move down and a little bit up, and you get some side to side. So the articulation on these is pretty nice, honestly. I mean, probably the nicest articulation I've ever seen on Sonic figures. And keep in mind, these retail for $15 each. So I think $15 for these, especially in our modern market, where figures this articulated and this detailed are often like 20 plus, I think is a really good price for these. And actually, it's kind of odd because I'm pretty sure, weren't the Mario movie figures 20 bucks? So it's actually very nice that these are just 15. I think it actually works out very well. These are nice. These are really nice, dude. Do I recommend them? If you're a Sonic fan like me, I would say yeah. I haven't seen the third movie yet. I don't even think it's out yet. I'll probably watch it once it's on streaming. I'm not that fussed to go see this in theaters. But still, these are great figures. And as a Sonic fan who has been a fan not only of the franchise, but of the toys for so long, I can say with confidence, these are definitely some of the best Sonic toys ever put to market. They are so good. And I do want to shout out a YouTuber, Austin the Brimstone, who did a video on the Shadow. That's actually what alerted me to how cool these were. And I was hunting everywhere trying to snag these. And I was on a toy hunt, and that's how I found Sonic. And then I continued hunting, and I found Shadow, like, probably a month later. And on that same toy hunt, I'm like, oh, man, I'm just missing Tails, and I'll have Wave 1. And I popped into a GameStop, and they had Tails. I have seen Wave 1 several places now. They are definitely far more available than they once were. But Wave 2, the, you know, Wave with Supersonic and Knuckles, I literally just found that days ago. So it's cool that those are getting out there too. I don't know what they might do for Wave 3. I kind of feel like 2 waves is enough. I feel like these pretty much hit all the characters you really need to hit for this line. But who knows? Maybe in the movie they'll surprise us with like Super Knuckles, Super Tails, and you know, Super Shadow, and maybe Metal Sonic. I don't know. Maybe they'll throw other stuff in the ring. Maybe they'll throw in Granddaddy Eggman. I don't know. But I'm very excited to see how this movie turns out and to see what Jakks has up their sleeve for future Sonic toys. I feel like the 2.5-inch line has really slowed down. I haven't found any of those for months now. Feels like years because I love those. I just don't find them anymore. They're not really super available online, but at least these are more available online. They're more available in general. And again, you know, minus Supersonic, if you want to grab that multi-pack, it's a pretty solid option to get all these characters. And I'm pretty sure that multi-pack actually ends up being cheaper than buying all of them individually. So, yeah, there you go. Let me know what you guys think about these Sonic figures down in the comments below. I think they're super cool. I'm a big fan of these. I don't know if I'll pick up that Robotnik, because it's not really in scale with these. But it seems decent. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. If they may end up making more, I might do a part 2. But I think for part 1, these are like all the main characters. And this satisfies me. These are awesome figures. I'm very happy to have them. Definitely, if I end up cutting back my Sonic collection, this is one of the last sets of the characters that I would get rid of, because they're just some of the best. Alrighty, guys. Once again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.